Hi, I'm Janine, and this is Janine Sews. Welcome to my channel. I talk about sewing a wardrobe for a woman over 50, and I've recently retired, so my focus is turning more to garments that are maybe a little more elevated casual. In this video, I'm going to review the Cashmerette Club Creston Jeans pattern. I'll give you an honest review. And if you keep watching till the end, I've got something special for you. One of my goals for this year was to perfect pant fitting, pants, trousers, jeans. And I have been using the top down, center out method and thought that I would work on a pair of pull-on stretch denim jeans, and I picked up some stretch denim for that. But now that I'm not working, I have the luxury of time, so I thought that this would be a great opportunity to take on a project that would stretch me a little bit and was a little bit more complex. I had picked up the Cashmerette Club Creston Jean pattern a couple of months ago. I'd had it printed at the copy shop because I'm terrible at taping things together, and I had it here, so I decided that I would give it a try. Now, Creston Jean pattern is a standard blue jean, so it's got the slash pockets, the waistband, the belt carriers, top stitching, back yoke, pockets, all of that. It actually has two waistband options, a standard waistband with or without belt carriers, and I didn't use belt carriers, or a flexi waistband that has a bit of elastic in it, and they suggest that those people who end up with gaping at the back waist use that waistband. So I selected the regular waistband pattern, and then I went through the process of measuring myself. And the instructions that they have for measuring are really good, and you measure a lot of different places. So you measure your natural waist, you measure your waist sitting, you measure the crotch depth, then you compare where your waist is going to be on there. Anyway, I spent a fair bit of time measuring myself and wrote down all my little measurements. And then when I went to select the size, I sized down, because I had stretch denim, and this pattern is designed for non-stretch denim. So they suggest you size down if you're using stretch fabric. So I wound up cutting an 18, and then I actually graded out to a 20 below the knee, because I have broad calves, and I've got one leg that swells, and there is nothing that drives me more crazy than having jeans or pants that are tight against my calves, especially jeans. So I graded out there. Then I measured the inseam, and I added 4 centimeters to the length because they were going to be too short. So I took all of that time measuring. I was very careful and deliberate, and then I cut out the pattern, and I was careful and deliberate there and marked everything. And then I took a breath and decided that it was time to sew. Now, when I've worked on denim things in the past, I've made a couple of jean jackets. They have suggested that you have separate machines set up for sewing and for top stitching, and Cashmerette does the same thing. If you have the luxury of having 2 machines, it sure makes life a lot easier, but they do give instructions on how you can group together different tasks so you don't have to change needles and thread so often. But I did set up multiple machines. So I have my regular machine here, and I used a denim needle and regular thread, and that was the machine that I used for seams. Then this machine I used for top stitching. So I had a top stitching needle, top stitching thread, and a walking foot. And then I just pulled out my serger, and I used that for finishing seam allowances. So I set to work. And you start out with, forgot to mention, one of the things that they suggest is using a fun quilting cotton or something like that for the pocket bags and the inside of the waistband. So this is what I used. So you won't really see this, I'll see it, but this is what's on the inside of the pockets and the waistband. Cut everything out, interfaced the waistband, which was really the only thing that needed interfacing. And then you start out and you sew the pockets, and then you attach them in the front. So this is what the pockets look like. Slash pockets, outside, inside. Then the next task is the fly. Another one of my goals this year was learning how to actually sew in zippers better. And the instructions for this zipper were excellent. I'm so pleased with how this turned out, and I did not unpick a single stitch. They do give you a template for the top stitching here. I'm going to come back to that in a second. And here's the zipper. There's a nice shield on it. So it's really tidy and it looks very professional. And the instructions, as I said, are so good. I had no problems at all. This is probably the best zipper I've ever inserted. Now, you do top stitch this, and when I was top stitching it, when I got down towards the bottom, my needle hit the metal of the zipper fairly hard, and I think I did something to the timing on the machine. So my top stitching was good on the outside, bad on the inside after that, so I'm gonna have to take it into the shop. But I would just say next time, or if you use this, put a pin or something there so you know to carefully walk your needle over the zipper so you don't hit it. Now in the notions list, you're instructed to use a 9-inch zipper, and that was way too long. So I had to pull out handy dandy pliers and pull off a bunch of teeth, which I was glad that I did because there are no zipper teeth inside of the waistband. So it's much more comfortable. Once the zipper was done, I continued working along. I tried the jeans on a couple of times. I wound up taking off a little bit, just a wedge of fabric on the inside of the yoke because it just was gaping a bit. Not enough that I think I should have had the flexi waistband, but just enough that I thought it could fit a little bit better. So I just took off, you can see this was the original seam allowance, and that's where I stitched it. And you can also see what went wrong with my top stitching on the inside. And the pockets, the yoke, you can embroider on the pockets if you want. I thought about doing that and I went down a really big rabbit hole. Decided not to this time. Put a little label on there. And then I sewed the inside seams and I basted the side seams and tried the jeans on. And yeah, they were a little bigger than I wanted. I don't know if that was because of the stretch fabric or just the way they're sized, but I wanted them to be a little bit better fitted. So because I had already done such a nice job on the side slash pockets, I just took a bit extra off the back, and that was it. I took about an extra 1/2 inch off just on the back, and they still line up down my leg fine. You wouldn't really know, but it did make a fair bit of a difference in how they fit. I finished off the waistband, used the fun denim button. God, those jeans buttons are fun to work with. They look so nice on the inside. And then I went to hem them. And of course I'd added 4 centimeters, which it turns out I didn't need because these are designed to be sort of ankle length because of the width of the pant leg. So I took that off. And they were finished. And I think I spent maybe 7 or 8 hours total, which is pretty fast for me. And I think they fit really well. These are, without a doubt, the best fitting pair of pants I've ever made. I didn't have to mess around with any adjustments. I made a couple of small adjustments. I didn't have to worry about the crotch curve, or when I put them on, stand a certain way so they look nice, but they don't look good when I'm walking, or vice versa. I think they look good when I'm walking or when I'm standing, and they're comfortable. That's the big thing. The waistband isn't too tight. The hips aren't too big or too tight. They just fit really nicely. I'm going to look for some twill to make another pair. Maybe I'll make a pair in a color or something, or maybe I'll get just some regular denim. But I absolutely am thrilled with how these turned out. They were just the two minor adjustments, and that doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to work for everybody, but I think that the information on how to pick a size and the general sewing instructions are really good. So I would recommend this pattern. As I mentioned at the start, I have something special to offer you. I've been sewing Cashmerette Club patterns for a few months now, and I've made at least 3, if not 4, and I've been happy with all of them. The instructions are very good. The sizing is dead on, and they're consistent. I think that's the biggest thing. I sew a lot of indie patterns, and they aren't always consistent in sizing or in instructions or in the beauty of the finished product. Cashmerette Club is a monthly, members-only online sewing club, and members receive a PDF pattern every month in sizes 0 to 32 and cup sizes C to H. In addition to the pattern, there are a bunch of other great things that come along with it, including a fitting masterclass with Jenny Rushmore, who created Cashmerette. There's an online discussion board, there are live virtual events, and there's a discount in the Cashmerette shop. If you're like me and you've got some curves and you want to start perfecting fit a little bit, I'd say maybe take a look at Cashmerette Club. For Black Friday week, starting today, November 20th through 27th, 2023, Cashmerette Club is offering the All Access membership for 25% off. You don't need a coupon code, you just go to their website and you'll get the 25% off. Now, I have a link down below for my followers and my viewers, and if you click on that link, in addition to the 25% off, you will also receive a free PDF pattern. So if you want to join the club and get the free pattern, use the little link down below. Now, this link is only active from November 20th through 27th, 2023, and it's for new members only. I wouldn't recommend this if I hadn't been happy with Cashmerette patterns. And I don't think I've found a dud yet. There are some where the style isn't right for me, but the instructions and the fitting have been excellent in every case. So, if you have any questions about these jeans, just pop a note down below in the comments box, but I definitely feel that this is one of my better makes. So I'm very happy with how they turned out. A couple of small little changes, but generally it's made a nice pair of jeans. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again in Friday Sews. Take care.